EA have been going crazy this Winter World Cup promo, releasing Yashin at centre-back, Courtois at front, and now Alisson as an SBC centre midfielder. His card's rather expensive, coming in at around 500 to 600k, so I've had to complete it to take a look to see just how worth it he is. His stats look amazing, he's literally Hooligan Gang level, everything on his card is over 80, so let's go ahead and take a look and see just how worth it this card really is. So having completed his SBC, let's go ahead and take a look at what his in-game stats look like. I've personally added an anchor chemistry style onto Alisson, which increases his pace, defending and physical. If anything needs touching up, those are probably the three, so anchor works perfectly for me. Then if we go ahead and take a look, his height is 6'4", which is massive for a centre midfielder. His work rates are high, so he's constantly up and down the pitch, which isn't great given his stamina, so you do find you have to sub him off in around the 70th and 80th minute of the game. He's then 4-star, 4-star, which is more than enough. I don't find 4-star weak foot to be too much of a problem, and I'm not the type of player to be using 5-star skill moves anytime soon anyway. His alternative position is CDM. I haven't personally used him there yet, but for chemistry reasons, if you have to start with a CDM, it's good to be able to start him there to provide chemistry to the likes of Van Dijk, Trent and Salah. So if we now take a look at his in-game stats, his in-game stats are absolutely insane. You just see green everywhere, with only a couple of the stats being below 780, which is crazy good for this time of the year. It looks like an absolute beast of an SBC when you look at these in-games. His pace is good for a centre midfielder. His shooting is great. The power shot on him is absolutely ridiculous. And with that 97 shot power, some of the shooting you'll see in the clips coming up soon is actually ridiculous. And then his passing is also absolutely amazing for a centre midfielder. His dribbling is good as well, but he's quite clunky on the ball given his height. His defending is good, and you don't really find too many defensive problems with him. And then his physicality is ridiculous, and the jumping on him is out of this world. You'll see in some of the clips soon, he literally does not lose a header. Then for playstyles, he of course has the power shot plus, which you'll see in some of these clips is really effective. He then has the power header as well, which you'll see in some of these clips works so well with Alisson. He then has bruiser, so the defending playstyle, which gives you greater strength when performing physical tackles, and you can tell his strength comes into play quite a lot. And then he's got press proven as well. And then to help his stamina out, he has relentless. I did find this helps him out slightly, but to be totally honest, you still have to sub him off around the 70th or 80th minute. But I've played a few games with Alisson now, and I'm going to go ahead and show you some of those clips that I've got from these games. His heading is ridiculous, as you'll see in them, and then we'll come back at the end of the video to conclude on whether the SBC is worth it or not. So I played around 10 games with this Alisson card, and I've compiled some of the clips I got with him in this video here. I think I scored around 10 goals in those 10 games, which is quite a good return for a centre mid, but to be honest, I was trying to force some of the play through him to get clips for this video. As you'll see in the video, his shooting is outrageous. It is so good. I love shooting with Alisson. Probably one of the best shooting centre mids I've used this year so far. And as you'll see on this clip here, where he combines with players and gets the ball back and then finesse shots it bottom right corner was great. But unfortunately, there are a lot of negatives to the card as well. One of them being he literally feels like a goalkeeper. So when you go on one of those mazy runs when you're either 7-0 down or you're 7-0 up and wanting to take the piss out of an opponent, you go on those mazy runs and the keeper feels like a keeper. And this is sort of how Alisson feels when he's on the ball, unfortunately. So any quick turns, any L1 dribbling, you're probably not going to be able to do with him, which is a real shame, especially when you're spending around 600,000 coins on the card. I, however, found his heading to be absolutely amazing. I didn't include too many clips of his heading, but I will include them at the end of the video. His heading was great. He didn't score many headers for me, but he got on them every single time he went for a header, which was awesome. His Trivela shot was also class. His Trivela shot is probably one of the best centre mids I've used again. But if you're looking for anything more than a shooting centre mid, you're not going to get it from Alisson. He's not nimble on the ball, obviously being 6'4". I prefer the sort of Guerrero type player, who for me 200k tradable is a lot better value for money than this Alisson SBC card. I'm a Liverpool fan though, so I had to complete the card and get a review video out for you guys. But to be totally honest, would I do it if I wasn't making a video on it? Probably not. He's not great. I mean, this goal here was outrageous. The finesse shot from like 35 yards out. His goalkeeper definitely should have been done better. And he was using Van der Sar like I sometimes do. And I just don't get on with Van der Sar at all this year. The power shots, again, absolutely outrageous. So good. And this is an example of one of those headers where he wins time and time again. He actually scores the follow-up on that one, which is really good to see. But his heading was ridiculous. He was so good in the air. Anyway, let's jump into the review section of the video now, where I tell you guys whether this SBC is worth it or not. So having played a few games with Alisson and showing you guys some of the best clips from those games, we're now going to summarise and see whether this SBC is worth it. So I've just gone ahead and taken a look and seen that his SBC is coming in at around 550,000 coins, which is so much money for a centre mid like Alisson. Personally, I had some fun with the card, but he's not going to be in my FUT Champs team this weekend, that's for sure. There's a lot of better centre mid options out there, and for me, he was just far too clunky on the ball. Some of his shooting and heading, though, was ridiculous, and there are certainly some things that he did work well for, and obviously he's a fun card to use. If you're a Liverpool fan, I'd say go ahead and complete it. The only problem is 500k for a centre midfielder like this, especially when Team of the Year is just around the corner, is really not worth it, to be totally honest. So unless you're a Liverpool fan wanting to add Alisson to your team, then I'd highly recommend not completing this SBC. You're definitely better off saving your fodder for one of the big icon SBCs such as Zidane or Hullet, or saving it for a future SBC player that comes out very soon. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this Alisson Winter Wildcard SBC player review. I certainly had a lot of fun making it, and if you want more videos like this on the channel, let me know down below. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.